I've always been fascinated by the River Thames. It runs right through the place where I was born, London, where my family have lived for 300 years. As a teenager, I worked in the docks. You wouldn't recognise it. Not one of these buildings was here. It's the river that built Britain. Now I'm going to get to know it even more intimately to find out what makes this one of the greatest rivers in the world. I'm following it from source to sea along the Thames Path National Trail, Europe's longest riverside walk. Is that water? From its humble beginnings in Gloucestershire... I could look at it for hours. ...to down river. Would the boats come down on this? Yeah. Where I learn how we tamed the Thames. It would have been chaos, wouldn't it? It would. For trade. Wow, this is all sugar. It's like the pyramids. And pleasure. You can really imagine, can't you, being Victorian, leaving work on Friday afternoon, getting back after lunch on the Monday. I'll meet people whose lives revolve around the Thames.
I'm a poulter, Tony, fish poulter, man and boy.
I think we'll make a boat builder out of you yet, Tony.
Yeah, sure. And over the course of my 200-mile journey, I'll witness an extraordinary transformation. From a trickle in a field to the lifeblood of our capital. Money, 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 money everywhere. And finally, how it becomes a magnificent giant as it merges with the sea. Join me, Tony Robinson, walking the Thames. I'm a little bit stymied here. I think I'm in the right field. Look, this is there, the source of the River Thames, and underneath in brackets, spring. But I can't see anything other than green grass and dandelions. The source is not what I imagined. I'm in the next field now. There is something kind of grey and square there. Can you see it? That could be an inscription. Oh, yes. It's definitely something. It's almost impossible to read what it says. This stone was something, something, something. Source of the River Thames. That's it, isn't it? Here we are. Thames Barrier, London, 184 miles, 294 kilometres. But it is a bit of an anticlimax. Because look, source of the Thames, no water whatsoever. But I would like to find a sort of wet source of the Thames. 300 years ago, there was usually a stream here. But with a growing population, industry and agriculture, all extracting water from the layers of limestone below, it now only flows in the wettest winters. But about a mile away, there is a more reliable source. Is that water? Oh, yes, it's a bit more promising. Look at this. Lidwell. That's a proper source of a river, isn't it? It's so satisfying, isn't it? I could look at it for hours. Certainly the Anglo-Saxons were aware of this place and the Bronze Age people, as well as the Romans. In past centuries, it was common to leave offerings in the river because it was believed to have spiritual or mystical powers. The Romans seem to have been particularly keen on the practice. They take something that meant something to them, a sword or a badge or a brooch or something, break it and put it in. So I thought I would do something similar, asking for good luck on my journey. This is a spoon that was among the things that I got when my mum died. I remember it vividly from when I was a kid, eating the old boiled egg from it. So I'm sacrificing it. I was thinking of chucking it in, but it probably isn't very good form to clutter the river. I'm going to bury it, but I'm not going to bury it right here because someone will only come and dig it up. I'm not going to tell you where. With the spoon sorted and water found, my walk can begin. The first leg of my journey takes me from the source, close to Kemble near Cirencester, through a little changed landscape of Cotswold villages and historic trading towns to the dreaming spires of Oxford, about 50 miles away. I'm following the infant River Thames. Right now, it's hard to believe it's had such an influence on Britain. But within a few miles, the trickle has already grown to a fast-flowing stream. On its journey to London, the River Thames travels at between 2.5 and 3 miles an hour. So, by my calculations, it should be going through the Thames barrier. There he goes, in just 3 days. There's no way I can keep up with that stick. It takes even seasoned walkers around 12 days to reach London. The first village on the river is Ashton Keynes, south of Cirencester. It's best known for the 16 bridges that straddle the Thames to access houses on the main street. And it's got some reminders of a violent past. It's a 14th century cross that had its head whipped off by Cromwell's men during the English Civil War. The puritanical Roundheads deplored symbols of Catholicism, and 4 crosses in the village suffered at their hands. I can see why they would have wanted to put a brick through a stained glass window in a cathedral, because they hated Catholic iconography, but just to take the top off that seems a bit rubbish, really. The Thames here was powerful enough to power a watermill. The Domesday Book records one in 1086. That made the village more important than average. But it never grew into a town because the river is too shallow for boats to trade here. That's why the heart of Ashton Keynes has remained largely unchanged for centuries. These images were taken over 100 years ago. I'm going round. There we are. It really hasn't changed much. There's a phone box and a car. That's about all the differences are. Local historians believe postcards like these were sent to soldiers fighting in the trenches of the First World War to remind them of England and what they were fighting for. This is the quintessential English village, isn't it? You half expect a load of Disney peasant women to leap out and start singing a song. In these upper stretches of the Thames, you can clearly see the river's floodplain in its original natural state. In long periods of wet weather, it's normal for the Thames to overflow its banks, and because the surrounding meadows haven't been built on, they can absorb the water rather like a giant sponge. When it's tipping down with rain like it is now, it's important to know how fast the river's flowing, whether it's flooding, whether its banks are being eroded, in order to protect the villages and towns along the Thames. So I'm about to meet a group of hydrologists who know that sort of thing and are using the most modern tech in order to understand the river. Downriver, where many of the meadows like these have been built on, there's less capacity to absorb water that overflows the river banks, leaving homes and businesses at risk of flooding with potentially devastating effects. Work to prevent that is the responsibility of Environment Agency scientists like Nick Everard. Oh, terrible old weather today, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is job security for us. Without the rain, we wouldn't have a job.
And what is it you're doing?
We're trying to understand the total flow rate of the river so that we can understand how to balance the flow of water down the river for water supply, for agriculture, for the environment and ecology. And in times of high flow, we need to manage flooding and understand where to put flood defences, but also forecast and understand the magnitude of future events we might have.
To help achieve all this, the scientists use an acoustic radio-controlled boat with an onboard sensor to detect water depth and speed. The agency also monitors water quality, and Rachel Shacklady is testing for indicators of rural pollution, such as sewage, slurry and fertiliser.
We can measure the temperature of the water, the conductivity, the pH, and also the ammonium.
That's the poo and the pee, isn't it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
that is. So human waste or agricultural waste, it helps us to see the quality of the water.
And it's taking a reading right now?
It is. Would you like me to get some data up for you? So here, each line represents a different parameter.
What's that spike there?
This is turbidity. So
In
this is
what?
Turbidity. If you have quite heavy rainfall, it can stir up lots of the dissolved organic material. And
Like
turn
what,
being-
mud?
Yeah, mud, whatever's being kicked up in the water. The orange line here is the ammonium, like you mentioned earlier.
The poo and the pee.
Exactly. And then you've got the blue line. This is a nice dissolved oxygen. If you start to see levels dipping down quite low, that can cause fish kills. And you can see that's reading 97.3%.
We've got a healthy river.
We do indeed.
Just along the bank, the sensor on the boat has now relayed its data back to Nick.
We finished the measurement and we can see how much water is going down the river.
Yeah.
It's 15,000 litres a second. Put another way, it's 15 tonnes of water every second. In the summer, this can get as low as 1, but in a flood, it can get up to about 80.
So essentially everything's under control.
Everything is under control. The river's behaving exactly as we'd like it to, so everything is good.
It's good news today, but the Thames has the most densely populated river basin in the UK, with 13 million residents, so continued monitoring is vital. That boat's a real asset.
Is it particularly complex to operate?
It's very simple, so simple that, dare I say, you could have a go yourself if you'd like
It would
to.
have to be very simple.
It
for
is,
me to
believe me.
All right. I haven't done one of these before.
This one is power, so forward makes the boat go forward, backwards makes it go backwards, and this one is steering with rudders. And you get the idea, it's very, very easy to drive, and that's a beautiful circle you've just driven on the Thames to prove the point. And
Well,
you've just discovered the boat can go quite fast.
It
as well.
can, can't it?
So do you want to give it a top speed run?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
get it pointed straight up river, and then push that one all the way forward.
Whoa! Go, my son! Go,
Now
my
we'll just
son!
steer it a little way away from the bank.
I love your nervous laugh.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not that cheap, the boat that's out there.
How much did it cost?
The boat is about £15,000, and the sensor on it is rather more than that.
It turns out I'm driving 40 grand's worth of kit.
Let's come back towards us.
Which one do I push to get
My
it
laugh
back?
is getting more nervous by the minute, isn't it? But shall I bring it back, and then you can take
I can
control?
do this.
Oh,
And then now
now forward on
full
that one,
forward.
and is it just? Yeah. It looks as though you knew exactly what you're doing.
I did. Oh, that was great. It actually made a rainy day very fun.
Oh, good.
Thank
and
you
the rain's
both.
even stopped. The sun's trying to come out. Look at that. What a joy.
We'll go back in any moment.
Coming up, my walk stumbles into hostile territory,
I'm a friend! I'm a friend!
and a fishing trip
Champione.
turns bizarre.
Bob has actually taken photographs of me in the nude.
I have,
right?
I'm afraid. Yeah.
I'm following the mighty Thames from its source right down to the sea. I'm now about 23 miles downriver near the town of Lechlade, a significant point on my journey.
This is the Thames, of course, but over there, beyond that weeping willow, is its tributary, the Colne,
It's one of 38 main tributaries along the length of the river.
and where the Colne joins it, suddenly the river gets much bigger. In fact, this is the official start of motorised navigation on the Thames. And what that means is that for the last few hours, I've seen virtually nobody, but up ahead, there'll be loads of people.
This now bigger Thames makes Lechlade the furthest large boats can travel upriver, so it's a busy spot. In the past, it helped the town grow through trade as a gateway for goods moving between the Cotswolds and London.
So the plan is I meet up with a bloke called Bob and blag a lift down the next stretch of the river.
Bob Ring is one of a handful of licensed crayfish trappers. We're meeting at St John's Lock, the first of 45 between here and London.
Excuse me, are you Bob?
Yes, I am.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Hello,
Is it
Tony.
okay if I do the next leg of my journey with you?
Yeah, of course.
that
Yes,
all right?
hop on.
I think old Father Thames is rooting for me. He was originally commissioned for the Crystal Palace, but he's been here since 1974. In return for catching a lift with Bob,
Going down.
I'm expected to do a little grafting.
Get off.
There we go.
Yeah.
The original lock on this site was built in 1790, part of a series of works that allowed larger boats to navigate up the Thames, making the river the trade superhighway of its time.
It used to be incredibly busy years and years ago. From Lechlade, you could go all the way down to London. But in the late 18th century, they built the Thames and Severn Canal, which came through into here. And once you'd got that, then you could also go east-west, right down as far as Bristol, which meant there was loads of traffic coming here. You got, oh, excuse me, you got, you got cheese and you got wool and you got stone. Well, the stone that actually built St Paul's Cathedral came down here. Hugely busy. You'd never think it now, would you?
From the mid-1800s, the coming of the railways made boat transport of cargo ever less financially viable. That's not to say no one makes a living from the river anymore. Bob does it by catching American signal crayfish. The species was introduced to the UK in the 1970s to be farmed for food, but many escaped into the wild. Only later was it discovered they're carriers of a plague fatal to native crayfish.
Of course, there they are wandering around completely immune to the thing they carry, but all our native ones, they're falling over.
On the Thames, the problem is currently so severe, it's thought native crayfish have declined by over 95%.
These you've pulled out of the river?
Yep.
And these are American?
These are American signal.
What does the signal mean?
It refers to they've got these sort of white knuckles, and it's seen that they're sort of almost signalling to each other.
So when that one's waving
whatever.
its little claw now,
Yeah.
it's showing us the little white flash.
He is, or he's doing,
Signalling.
making some sort of gesture anyway.
Some sort of gesture indeed.
Bob does crayfish removal to try to keep the pests under control, and he's developed a niche market, selling some of the catch to restaurants and making dishes such as Louisiana gumbo for events and festivals.
I do the gumbo at Glastonbury, right?
Do
That's
you?
a big seller. I was the Sustainable Trader of the Year in 2014.
Hey!
They always give me a bit
The
of
Glastonbury Sustainable Trader
That's
of the Year.
Something's been bugging me, and as we set off to check the traps set last night, the penny drops.
I didn't realise this, but this is absolutely true. I didn't recognise Bob, but we had known each other 30 years ago. He used to be a publicity photographer. I worked on a very rude show called Who Dares Wins, and Bob has actually taken photographs of me in the nude.
I have,
right?
I'm afraid. Yeah, I think the ad might have originally been Pure Genius.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a parody of that ad. Well, I'm glad I've shared that with you.
Anyway, back to business.
Underneath the water, there would be crayfish.
There will be crayfish. It is a little early season, so not all of them are out and about.
Bob's baited his pots with mackerel, so fingers crossed.
Nope, not a thing.
Nothing, yeah.
Typical. There must be millions of the little blighters, but they're camera shy.
Ah, right, at last.
Yay! Results. So many times over the years I've done this. Let's go out and see if we can catch something. You never do, but triumph. Championes, championes, oh, oh, oh.
Back on the boat, we cook up Bob's signature dish of crayfish gumbo, a mix of crayfish, spicy sausage, spuds and corn on the cob. With butter, extra spice and a jolly good mixing in the slightly unorthodox serving bowl, our boat cuisine is ready.
It doesn't look incredibly appetising. It looks like
Does it
what's
not?
left over at the end of a tsunami.
I think you'll find it's pretty tasty, though.
I'll be the judge of that.
Nice enough. No, very nice.
As well.
Unexpected free meal from the Thames. Not that the sweet corn and the potatoes grew in the Thames, but you know what I mean. That's quite blowy now, isn't it?
Picked up a bit.
Cheers, mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Tony. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you after 30 years.
See you later.
As I head east along the path, it's increasingly clear crayfish aren't the only invaders to cause worry along the Thames. Ever since leaving Lechlade, I've been seeing these fortified guard posts, evidence of the river's strategic importance.
I've got to the part of the Thames where there are a lot of pillboxes around. In fact, along here, there's one every half mile. And that is because in the Second World War, if the Germans had invaded by land, then the Thames was going to be the line of defence to stop them getting to the Midlands and the north.
In the summer of 1940, after the evacuation from Dunkirk, the threat of a German invasion became very real. If Britain's coastal defences failed, Stop Line Red, following the Thames, was to be part of a series of defensive stop lines that would at least prevent Rommel's panzer divisions advancing into our industrial heartland to the north.
I've got a rendezvous with a bunch of people who know quite a lot about those defences, although they're not here yet, which is odd because I was supposed to see them at 1600 hours and it's now... Good Lord.
Bill King and his reenactors honour the memory of the men who defended this area with displays each summer.
I'm a friend! I'm a friend! Oh, Bill, you saved me from a terrible fate. Can we go and have a look at these guys? Who were they? Who would they have been?
We're now looking at members of the Oxfordshire Home Guard.
Dad's army poked fun at the Home Guard, but in reality they had a deadly serious mission: to hinder a German invasion. Men with crucial civilian jobs, or those too young or old for the regular forces, could volunteer, and by July 1940, 1.5 million had done so.
These two have got different coloured hats on.
These two are Upper Thames Patrol. The patrol was formed prior to the Home Guard, so these two have got seniority over the others from that point of view.
And what was their job?
To look after the river, to make sure that the locks and the weirs are protected and not sabotaged.
If the Germans had invaded, what would they have had to do?
Oh, literally, this was going to be the last ditch, the defence. And so the pillboxes would have been hard points, but their task literally would have been to blow the bridges. If the enemy are coming from the south, their job is to prevent them from crossing the river.
As well as blowing up the bridges, the brief was to open the weirs and locks so the surrounding land would flood and bog down a mechanised invasion.
Who would have built the pillboxes? Would it have been guys like this?
Oh no, these were all done by either civilian contractors or by Royal Pioneer Corps. It was done in about 6 to 8 weeks.
How many did they make in 6 to 8 weeks?
About 5,000.
Wow, it must have been frenzy.
It was.
But they were never used because the Germans didn't invade.
The Battle of Britain took place. The enemy never got air superiority, and as a consequence, they were never able to cross the channel.
But these guys would have stopped them, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. Fine body of men.
Shall we put them through their paces?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think so.
Upper Thames, stand fast. Oxfordshire Home Guard. Fix! Bayonets. Attention!
It's a couple of bits slow behind you, but by and large you were pretty impressive. I do notice one thing, Corporal. One of your Home Guard has an earring.
I got to find that out this morning.
Well, thank you ever so much for coming out. And Bill, thanks for all that information. How far is Redcott?
2 miles straight downstream.
Right, well, that's where I'm going now.
Good luck.
Cheers, see you.
Coming up,
Oh, wow, loads of them.
restoring the river calls for some fishy business.
We'll go with them. Hey, he's gone.
Taking a toll turns out to be fun
Thank you.
and lucrative.
Don't shake my hand, take my money.
Okay. And a green electricity scheme gives me a shock.
Ow, it's like torture. It's like being a bit of cheese on a grater.
In my journey along the length of the Thames, I'm looking at a river that's dramatically different from the one I grew up with.
Here on the upper reaches of the Thames, it's peaceful, undisturbed. The river looks lovely. In fact, the Thames is cleaner now than it has been at any time in the last 500 years.
When I was a kid in London in the 1950s, the lower reaches of the river were polluted by industry and wartime damage to the sewers. Bacteria in sewage use the oxygen in water, leaving little for other life forms. By 1957, the water quality was so bad, the Natural History Museum declared London's river biologically dead. Today I'm back with the Environment Agency, which has achieved a massive turnaround, cleaning up the whole length of the river.
Hi.
Morning.
What are you doing, guys?
Oh, Rab's come from our fish farm at Calverton to stop some fish in the Thames for us.
Stuart Mannering's releasing 1,200 chub and barbel to boost the fish population and ensure there are enough for anglers, whose licence fees help pay for this work.
If you want to hop up and have a look,
Yeah, sure.
Rab will fish a few out for you, see what we've got.
Oh, wow, loads of them.
So these are the chub.
How old are they?
So these are a year old. And then round the other side, I think we've got some barbel.
These are a little bit bigger, so they might splash.
Oh, yeah, they're big boys, aren't they?
With so many fish to release, I'm going to get togged up to lend a hand. As an actor, I'm used to costume changes, but this is way more strenuous.
Come on. Come on.
Worrying.
Hope I don't need a pee.
And deeply unflattering.
Tweedledum. Off I go.
First up for release are some chub. They're just part of around 20,000 fish the agency releases each year into the Thames.
The key is finding a nice, easy spot to get down to the river. Nice, gentle banks.
Easy access here.
Yeah.
Peak time for release is winter and spring, when the water temperature in the Thames roughly matches the cool temperatures at the farm where the fish were raised.
All right, you
So
ready?
we gently drop them in.
Freedom.
There they go.
Do they seem to adapt pretty well to the wild, or do you find loads of them belly up in a couple of days?
Oh, they're gone. They're shooting off to find the new niches to live in.
Stuart and his colleagues work with farmers, landowners and fishing clubs to improve river habitats so the fish population can become more self-sustaining.
Blimey! It's all right, don't panic. You're going in the water.
The chub should start reproducing once they're about 4 or 5 years old, and these barbel at 3 or 4.
So any like these guys will be 600 millimetres long in 10 years, weighing 10, 12 pounds.
Those actually are called barbels, aren't they, those things sticking from its mouth?
Yeah, that's what it's using to rummage around in all the sediment and the sand, looking for invertebrates. And these are sensitive feelers.
Beautiful fish. I won't leave him out of the water anymore. Go on, my son. Oh, hey, he's gone. There were barbel in this river in medieval times, weren't they? You see them written about in the documents.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, the Thames was very different back then.
Happily, things seem to be coming full circle. There are around 125 species of fish along the Thames now. And a healthier river has drawn back other wildlife, such as otters and even seals in the lower reaches.
It's so unlike that vision of the Thames that I used to have as a child, of a place where the river was virtually black.
The chronic pollution in the Thames, hopefully those days are done now.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Old Father Thames keeps rolling along.
It does.
Oh, my feet are stuck.
Having extracted myself from the mud, there's a peaceful 16 miles to my next stop.
Walking along a river mile after mile, you tend not to see anything particularly dramatic. So when you're confronted with something like that, you go, oh, well, look at that engineering, see the light bouncing off the stone. And in fact, that bridge, Swinford, is very interesting because it's one of only 2 toll bridges on the whole of the River Thames. I suppose there's the Dartford crossing, but I'm not sure that counts.
Before the bridge was built, there was just a ferry. The story goes that King George III received a right royal dunking after his carriage slipped off the ferry and into the river. He was not amused and got the Earl of Abingdon to foot the bill for a bridge. In return, the Earl got the right to collect tolls entirely tax-free forever. Sounds like something I should try.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you. Tax-free for life, that's not bad, is it? backed up. No wonder that when the bridge was sold in 2009, thank you, it went for £1 million. I mean, think about it, 5p for a car, 20p for a bus top. I reckon I must have made £1.40 in the time it's taken to tell you that.
It may roll in fast, but I've got to hand it over. The bridge has a toll house, and in it lives the manager, Paul Batty.
Don't shake my hand, take my money.
OK, well done. The house comes complete with this idyllic garden.
Which side are you going to sit? Let's get the
How much do we do? Look at
money. That's not bad, is it?
10 minutes work.
How long do you reckon they've been tollmen here?
The bridge opened August 1769, and they've been collecting tolls ever since. Under the original Act of Parliament, which I've got a copy of here, for the Earl of Abingdon.
And it was tax-free.
A very clever wording that was put into the original Act that said forever.
The Act details the price for anything to cross the bridge.
Any carriage with 4 wheels, the sum of 4p. With less than 4 wheels, the sum of 2p. For every horse, mare, gelding, mule or ass, laden or unladen, drawing or not drawing, the sum of 1 penny. For every ox, blah, blah, every sheep, every lamb. I mean, it's really detailed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charges can only be raised by Act of Parliament, which they were in 1994 to help cover the cost of maintenance. But if you don't want to cough up, there's an alternative.
We close at 9 p.m. at night, so it's all free at night.
Do you ever get people waiting at 8:55?
On a Wednesday, my friend, he waits till 9 o'clock before he comes down to lunch.
So far, my journey following the Thames from source to sea has covered 47 miles to Swinford Bridge. From here, it's only about 6 miles to Oxford. Before the hurly-burly of the city, there's a haven for wildlife in the ancient woodland at Witham Woods, which borders the path. It belongs to Oxford University, and the habitats here have been studied since the 1920s, giving real insights into conservation in a changing world. Further on, just to the west of the city centre, there's another project that's all about creating a more sustainable future.
I love the way that bits of our natural environment are used for virtually the same function for hundreds of years. So an Iron Age hill fort becomes a Norman castle, a Roman temple becomes a church, and 850 years ago, right here, the monks of Osney Abbey built a water wheel, and they're still harnessing the power of the river here today.
The Osney Lock Hydro generates hydroelectric power from the Thames, supplying green energy to the national grid.
Hi, Saskia.
Hi.
Can I get in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saskia Huggins is one of the team which runs it.
Welcome to Osney Lock Hydro.
Thank you. Come and have a look. This is basically a pretty small building with a great big screw running through it, isn't it?
That pretty much sums it up, yeah. If we get closer, we can see what's going on.
I wasn't wrong, was I? It really is a big screw in a small box.
Absolutely massive.
This giant 11-ton hunk of metal is being turned by the force of the river to create electricity. It has 4 blades and it's over 4 metres long.
It's actually a really ancient technology.
Archimedes screw,
yeah. It's exactly the same technology.
The Archimedes screw, supposedly invented by the ancient Greek scientist, is a method to lift water up, for example, to pump out a ship's hold. It uses a source of energy, such as men or oxen, to turn a screw. The screw forces the water up to where it's needed. At the hydro, that principle is used in reverse to create energy.
Instead of us putting power in to turn the water up, we're using the power of the water to turn the screw, which we're then turning into electricity.
At this point on the Thames, tributary rivers such as the Churn and the Windrush, as well as the Colne, have all joined, boosting the volume of water. There can be up to 50,000 litres per second flowing through, but it varies dramatically.
So here you really get to appreciate the force of the water as it's flowing over this point of the river.
It's a real gush, isn't it?
This is a community project, The lion's share of the start-up costs was funded by local people. Yet in an average year, it generates the equivalent of enough electricity for 55 homes. Osney Island resident Dr. Barbara Hammond has been heavily involved.
You were actually there at the start of this project, weren't you?
Yeah, way back in 2001, we asked the community on Osney Island whether they wanted local renewables, and they all came back and said, well, we want hydro at the weir.
Will it actually generate more money than it costs?
Yeah.
This project is a 40-year project, but over its lifetime it should raise well over £1 million for a local environmental project.
The hydro's been running since 2015, and it could be a blueprint for similar projects elsewhere on the Thames. This one relies on daily maintenance by volunteers.
We have a trash screen to stop big things going into the screw and breaking the screw, and we have to keep that trash screen clear in order to keep the power output at its optimum for the river conditions.
I'm getting a funny feeling where this is heading.
And we haven't cleared the trash screen yet, so we're wondering if you might like to help.
Thought so.
The great thing about being in show business is the exotic jobs you get asked to do. I'm going to clear the trash screen.
There's some rather fetching safety gear to don. And a choice of tools.
Which would you like?
I rather like this because it's more medieval.
Yeah.
I've no idea why I need a yoga mat.
Yeah, really good.
But the ladies seem suspiciously cheerful.
Ow, it's quite sharp, isn't it?
It's all designed to be non-slip.
Yeah.
Not great for your knees.
Typical male reaction. I thought, I don't need a mat, that's a bit girly, but it's like torture. It's like being a bit of cheese on a grater.
While they watch in comfort, I have the joyous task of hooking debris away from the screen so it's harmlessly swept clear of the screw.
It's a great workout.
Do you ever get really big things caught in this?
We had a really disgusting thing last week. It was a dead sheep.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
There we go.
Hey!
Oh, it's going back in again. Get away.
I'm really admiring this thoroughness.
Oh, great!
Fantastic.
I feel you're patronising me slightly.
What we're trying to do, Tony, is keep the water level across the trash screen.
Yeah.
So it's beautifully level now, so thank you.
Don't call me if there's another sheep, will you?
Twigs I can handle, but before anything nasty floats my way,
Lovely to meet you both.
I'm going to bid farewell.
Thanks so much for your help.
Power to the people.
Bye then. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Coming up,
oh, stuck in the tree.
the working boats that became a favourite for Victorians at leisure and a challenge for me.
We're going down the river very efficiently, although sideways.
I'm walking the Thames from source to sea. At the end of this first leg, I've reached central Oxford. The Abbess St Friedwide founded a monastery here close to the river. The origins of the university are hard to pinpoint, but by the 12th century, the presence of several monastic houses in and around Oxford made it a gathering place for learned men.
Oxford is built on a lot of little islands where the Cherwell meets the Thames. That's why you've got all these waterways winding their way throughout it.
The Thames helped the city grow. Stone to create some of its finest buildings came downriver from the Cotswolds, and paper came upriver from London to supply the Oxford University Press.
But where you've got waterways, you need a means to get round them, hence the punt.
These flat-bottomed boats were just the thing for workaday jobs such as carrying small cargoes, ferrying people, or fishing.
But what in previous centuries was the utilitarian white van that everybody used, by the end of the 19th century, it was the craft of choice for the leisure classes.
Like one of them, I fancy enjoying the views. My guide is Simon Wenham.
Hello, Simon.
Hello, good to meet you.
And you.
he's got a doctorate in the history of Oxford boating.
If I stay in the middle, will I be all right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is all right, isn't it? Thank you very much.
From the mid-19th century, the city's relationship with its river shifted from business to leisure. The Salter Brothers Boat Company became influential in popularising pleasure boating. There were steamer trips along the Thames and punts built as leisure craft rather than working boats.
How long do you reckon there have been punts on this river?
And the punt itself is an ancient boat. Julius Caesar referred to the Latin ponto, which is where we get the words punt from, and they've been on the River Thames certainly since Saxon times and probably before, given that they were there in Roman times in Gaul. In terms of pleasure boats, that's a fairly recent innovation. Just over 100 years they've been very popular for leisure. Two design changes were important. One is the narrowing of the craft, which makes it a lot more manoeuvrable, and the other was the introduction of the saloon seating, which you're sitting in the middle, and that allowed 4 people to sit in the centre, and that actually made the pursuit a lot more of a sort of sociable pastime.
Punting was considered a suitable pastime for young ladies, including those from the university's women's colleges. By the Edwardian era, it was so popular there were 1,000 punts in Oxford.
They're not that easy to manoeuvre, really, are they?
If you're a beginner, actually, they can be quite difficult.
What's the trick?
I would say there's a couple of things. One is when you drop the pole, firstly, to feel if it's muddy, it can be difficult to pull out, and you can obviously lose your balance. And the other one is once you pushed off, to use the pole as a rudder behind you. So if you want to steer to the left, you just push it in the water that way, and if you do it to the right, you steer to the right.
Can I have a go?
You can indeed, absolutely.
Before I even get to the punting bit, there's the challenge of swapping ends. It seems one high and one low is the way to avoid a ducking.
Have you punted before?
Never punted before.
Not at all? Oh, wow.
I know I look like a natural.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going down the river very efficiently, although sideways.
There's actually such a thing as punt racing. It evolved in the late 1800s from gentlemen betting on races between professional boatmen. To compete seriously, I'd need to work on techniques like body swing, arm drive and back shove.
I've got mixed feelings about my ability as a punter. On the one hand, we seem to be going fairly straight.
Absolutely.
Or at least following the course of the river. Oh, on the other hand, I got stuck in the tree. There you are, that explicitly demonstrated why I'm not the greatest punter in the world.
Still, it's a wonderful way to wind up my tranquil journey through the Upper Thames. But from here on, it's all change. Next time,
race pace.
The river gains momentum.
3. Oh my God. I did it!
And I discover how we tamed the Thames for trade and pleasure.
I could get used to this. I've always been fascinated by the River Thames. It runs right through the place where I was born, London, where my family have lived for 300 years. Now I'm going to get to know it even more intimately to find out what makes this one of the greatest rivers in the world.
I'm walking the Thames Path, discovering how we tamed the river.
2, 3. Oh, I did it!
And that's it. Only another 8 to go.
And I'm meeting the people whose lives revolve around the Thames.
We can actually trace ourselves as fishermen and ferrymen from 1257.
Oh, you're kidding.
This is what the royal watermen used to do in Henry VIII's time, to row their king.
Are you about ready for me now?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm going into the side again.
That's my thoughts.
Oh, You've caught me about 1/3 of the way through my Thames Path journey. Abingdon is just up ahead. Now I'm going to be looking at the midsection of the Thames. which for the last 100 years or so has been most famous for boating and messing about in the river.
From here, I'll follow the river as it winds its way through the beautiful Thames Valley, stopping off at Henley-on-Thames, and then on towards the palace at Hampton Court, a distance of around 100 miles.
I'm just approaching Abingdon Lock, and you see how still and flat and essentially deep the Thames appears to be. Well, what I hadn't fully realised was that locks like this don't just help the boats go to and fro, but they also manage the level of the water all the way along the whole length of the Thames.
Before there were locks and weirs to partially dam the river, the Thames hundreds of years ago would have been far too shallow for all but the smallest of boats. Today, managing water levels falls to the Environment Agency. This morning, I've got an appointment with lockkeeper Richard Hawkins.
Hello, chap. Nice to see you.
To learn the ropes.
And there. You got it, mate. Lovely job. Morning, folks. And if you want to grab a back rope off this gentleman here...
I'm grabbing your back rope.
And what we'll do is...
there?
Yeah, we'll just take half a turn round there and pass it back to him.
So how does this work? Do I turn this handle?
No, unfortunately not. It's a bit too warm for that. We're going to cheat and use the buttons instead.
Oh, it's controlled electronically.
Yeah, so just push that one in.
Now?
Yeah, go for it. Hold him in nice and tight.
Here we go.
That's
Closing the gates.
Keep your thumb on him, Tone.
Oh, all right.
That's it.
Not
Keep it going.
closing the gates. Closing the gates now.
Now we're closing the gates. Consummate professionals, see? And we'll just go all the way till you see them close, bang together, and that'll make them mitre together nicely.
Once the gates are closed at each end of the chamber, or pound as it's known, it can be filled or emptied to match the water level in the direction the boat wants to travel.
OK, Frank, open them up, mate.
All clear, my love. There you go.
And you've got locks like this all the way down the Thames?
Yep, there's 45 locks on the Thames, plus one extra one on the tidal Thames. And essentially what they do is, if you imagine before all the locks were built, the river ran its own course. It was like almost like a slippery slope. And putting locks in just turns it into a nice gentle staircase. So we've sort of gentrified in a way and made it slightly less dangerous.
Come and see us again. Bye-bye now.
How many boats do you get going through here on a busy day?
If we said, you know, August would be our busiest month, we get about 3,000 boats in August alone. So on a weekday, about 100, weekends, 150, maybe a little bit more. So it's non-stop, really, and we wouldn't just be putting one boat in the lock like that one there. We'd be packing 4 or 5 in, all different shapes and sizes, and that's part of the sort of diplomacy of being a lockkeeper, really, is keeping all the different river users happy. So we try our best.
Before modern pound locks like this one were introduced, travelling up and down the river was far more risky and involved the use of flash locks. There was one here at Abingdon in the 17th century, which was simply a series of wooden boards that held the water back, but which could be removed quickly, allowing boats to ride the resulting flash or cascade of water. This Victorian weir, which is still in use today, uses large panels to hold water back and gives us at least some idea of what it must have been like for those early and very brave river voyagers.
So these are like the old boards, only these are made of metal?
Exactly the same principle, yeah. All we're doing is we've got a removable section. At the moment it's raised. So if you can imagine that this was an old-style flash lock, the opening will be slightly bigger because we might struggle to fit a boat through here. But it's the very same idea. They'd be moored up on the opposite side, ready to come down. I'd lift this up.
And then this would happen?
They would go down through there.
So when these boards were lifted, you'd get all this white water, wouldn't you?
Exactly, yeah, as you can see. There's a lot of turbulence, a lot of noise, it's all quite disconcerting.
And would the boats come down on this?
Yeah, they would. They'd come up through on what we call this is the flash of water they come down through.
It would have been chaos, wouldn't it?
It would. Goring flash weir in the 16th century, a passenger boat sunk and there was only 60 people killed.
To demonstrate the power of the river, Richard has winched open one of the heavy iron boards. But damming the river again is a lot cruder, a lot more fun, and involves a large mallet.
1, 2, 3. Oh, my God.
I did it! Nicely done.
Listen, listen, listen. It's silence, isn't it?
It's eerily silent, isn't it?
That is so effective. I bet you're glad you had me here.
Controlling the water level at weirs is part of the job description for lock keepers like Richard, and now I've dammed the river, water needs to be released elsewhere to stop it flooding.
Go and make some tea during this bit.
A little bit more, keep going. Perfect, lovely stuff. And that's it. Only another 8 to go.
And with that, I make my excuses and a hasty retreat. Just past the lock, the town of Abingdon is certainly worth a detour off the river. It claims to be the oldest continuously occupied town in Britain. In the back streets, you can find the remains of an abbey that was built by Benedictine monks 1,300 years ago.
Once upon a time, this was the 6th most powerful abbey in the whole country. A massive enterprise. Now, all that's left is this rather elegant-looking building here. It looks like someone's fairly posh house, doesn't it?
The building was most probably used to accommodate visiting dignitaries.
The most vivid evidence of how glorious this place would once have been is this. It's called the Long Gallery now and was built around about 1450, although initially it wouldn't have been one long room, it would have been divided into 3. Look, underneath this beam, you can see the slots where one of the partition walls would have been, and there's loads of slots all the way along here because this would have been a corridor along which people could ambulate and look out at that amazing view. Probably the best indicator of how fantastic the place would have originally looked is that. Nobody seems to know quite how old that wall painting is, but it does look medieval, doesn't it? And imagine if this whole room was covered in paintings which originally would have looked like that. Pretty stunning. On a day like today, Abingdon is such a beautiful, quiet, tranquil place. But 300 years ago, it would have been very different round here. The wharves were all along here. This was a place about buying, selling, commerce, industry. The boats would have been coming in and out all the time. The noise would have been incredible. The stink would have been awful from the manufacture of candles, from the leather tanning, from the brewing. Talking of which, there were about 50 pubs around here at that time. So in order to reflect on what the people of Abingdon used to do, I'm going to go in for a quick one. I'll see you back on the river.
Coming up, how the Victorians fell in love with the Thames.
Whoa, yeah, you really feel the wind kicking, can't you?
Yeah, that's it.
And keeping the river clean.
So that is raw tui.
Things get a bit messy.
A bit salty.
My Thames Path walk has brought me to the almost picture-perfect village of Clifton Hampden in the heart of Oxfordshire. It's long been renowned for its chocolate box charm that almost demands that you linger for a while on the river.
It's great just sitting on the bank watching the fish jump up to catch the flies. This is the exact opposite of how this place would have been when the Thames was the main commercial route out of London. There were 2,500 of those working the Thames in those days, a steady stream of them coming up towards Lechlade, then turning onto the canal towards Bristol. Then, poof, almost overnight, the railways came and the river ceased to be the most viable way of transporting goods. And what filled that gap? Leisure boating. The Victorians loved it.
By the 19th century, for middle-class Victorians, going upriver became the thing to do. They'd put on their finest clothes, dresses and hats for the ladies, blazers and flannels for the men, and take to the water.
The more adventurous would think nothing of rowing 2 or 3 days upstream for a little break, particularly if they had one of those, a skiff. I might just give it a go myself.
I'd arranged to get on the river with Tom Balm in his antique skiff.
Hi, Tom.
Hello. Hi, Tony.
He's something of a classic Thames enthusiast and rents out skiffs like this to people who want to sample the life of a Victorian boater.
How long have there been skiffs around for?
I would say the 15th century, 16th century, there's been skiffs around.
What were they used for then?
They would have been commercial craft for the purposes of ferrying their customers due to the lack of bridges that had been built back then.
You wouldn't have been able to dump much on them. They wouldn't have been goods vessels, would they?
They wouldn't have been heavy goods. No, people passengering.
Yeah.
It was the versatility of the skiff that led to its popularity during the leisure boom of the 1880s. Thousands were built as rental boats. They came in 1 or 2 oar versions. And there was an option of adding a sail, so you could make good headway on an escape from London.
So you're going to put the sail up?
Yeah. Let's hope we get the wind. We've got the sculls here to...
Get us back.
Reasonable progress. Well saved. And it's pulled up right the way to the top.
Reminds me of a little Thames barge.
And we're making gentle progress there, I believe. Pull on that rope.
Yeah.
Good pull. You can feel the power in your hands, the power of the wind.
Whoa, yeah, you really feel the wind kicking, can't you?
Yeah, that's it.
What a nice bit of pace. I love that solitary buzzard up there.
Yeah, you can really imagine, can't you, being Victorian, taking 3 days off?
Leaving work on Friday afternoon, getting back after lunch on the Monday, possibly.
It became popular to camp on trips upriver. There was even a version of a skiff that came complete with its own tent, and which Tom is keen to demonstrate as a viable option for accommodation this evening.
So 4 iron hoops with a complete tent.
People really would sleep overnight in one?
Yeah, absolutely, yep. Entire families would sleep on here.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, yep. You don't really need anything else, you've got your boat. OK, that's it. And then it's just draped over the top.
You could say that, in a way, this was the VW camper van of its day. Some savvy skiff rental companies even offered a collection service, so when you'd had enough, you could simply dump the boat and make your way back to London by train.
Hey! Oh, actually, that took a remarkably short time, didn't it?
I beg pardon?
I said! It took a remarkably short time, actually, didn't it?
They are quick. Yeah.
Where did they sleep?
They were a pleasure. They would have slept underneath the canvas. And then there we have your airbed.
So that's how they would have slept?
That's how they would have slept. Yep.
Just down like that?
Absolutely.
That looks really comfortable, Tom. Let me demonstrate what else they might have done. Sometimes they'd have parked the skiff like that and picked up their bag and gone to the pub for the night. Cheers, mate.
Very good.
Thanks
okay,
a lot.
Tony.
Night-night.
The Thames has long been an important water source, supplying Oxford, Swindon and 80% of tap water in London.
Every day, 5 million tonnes of water move along the Thames as it approaches London.
Of course, it's treated before we drink it and treated after we drink it. which is why I'm taking a short detour off the river at Reading to find out what goes on at Thames Water's most advanced sewage plant.
Now, I know this kind of detour might seem a bit weird for a Thames walker, but when I heard that before water from the Upper Thames reaches London, it's been recycled 8 times, I had to find out the dirty facts for myself.
Less than 200 years ago, the answer for dealing with sewage for many riverside towns was simply to deposit it in the river, with disastrous consequences. In London by the 1850s, as these satirical depictions of the day show, the Thames was a filthy place. Indeed, so full of raw sewage, it was quite literally poison, and outbreaks of cholera and typhoid weren't uncommon. These days, modern processing plants like this one that services Reading can recycle raw sewage and return clean water to the environment in less than 24 hours.
Cheers, mate. The reason that I'm getting all suited and booted up is because Barry here is going to chuck me in at the deep end in a minute.
I certainly am. You want to come this way, Tony? I'll show you where it all comes in.
Yeah.
This is the start of the process.
So that is raw sewage.
That is raw sewage.
An astounding 175 million litres pass through here every day.
It doesn't actually stink as bad as you'd think it would, does it?
It doesn't. Raw sewage very rarely smells.
But there are still some dirty jobs that need manual handling, which is where I come in, removing foreign objects from the inlet screens.
As you can see, that's all your rags and plastics and...
That's just stuff that's come through the sewer, but you can't process any other way.
There's no way that will... Is, oh, we want to get as much rag and fat and paper and grit out of it as humanly possible.
I can see a few wet wipes there.
Yeah. I believe this is yours.
Oh, God.
It's part of your training, just hook it off.
That's right. Here we go. Lovely stuff. Blimey, they eat a lot of sweet corn in Reading, don't they?
They certainly do. We like to be healthy.
Yeah.
Picking through the private deposits of 220,000 Reading residents isn't exactly the best job in the world.
Just turn the handle and turn it off.
But it needs doing twice a week across 8 screens.
It's a bit salty.
The next stage is automated. The sewage is separated into number 1s and number 2s. Liquids are filtered in the settlement ponds, where bacteria naturally neutralise impurities. The solids are dealt with by other means.
Right, if you want to know what happens to the poo, in here, it's mixed up with a thickener, and then it's taken along here, where it's ploughed, and a lot of the water is taken out of it, so that by the time it gets to here, it's really quite dry. I'm very glad I shared that with you.
And the resulting sludge is then pasteurised inside giant digesters, where the methane it produces is used to generate 45% of the plant's electricity needs. The final residue is recycled for use in agriculture. And the water? Well, after just 18 hours, those former household flushes are released into the River Kennet, a nearby tributary of the Thames.
That looks pretty clean, doesn't it?
It does. Shall we go and take a sample? Yeah. See how clean it is?
At this stage, it's not safe to drink. It'll be treated again before it comes through your tap, but it's definitely clear.
So there you are then. That'll go into the River Kennet and on into the Thames, where it will continue to be treated naturally by the sun and microbes and water plants, till eventually one day it'll be used to clean the car, or someone will drink it and it'll find its way back here again. And as for the human waste, well, that has been turned into sludge cake, which the farmer will use.
Coming up, in the rowing town of Henley,
race pace,
I find out what it takes to be part of an elite team.
I think I over-ruddered there.
and I captain a boat that's much more my style.
It's lovely, isn't it? I've already got the elbow out the window, one-handed driving. I've only been driving it for 30 seconds.
I'm walking the Thames from source to sea, following the Thames Path, Europe's longest riverside walk. I'm now about halfway along the river's 200-mile length in the town of Henley-on-Thames. This Oxfordshire town has long been important as a trading hub on the route to London by river. Records show a bridge here nearly 800 years ago. But in 1857, the arrival of the train line transformed this place virtually overnight into a leisure resort.
In the late 19th century, if you were a Londoner, you could get the train all the way upriver to here to potter around on the river. And it became really popular. In fact, one summer's day in 1888, nearly 7,000 people arrived here from Paddington. It was like Benidorm-on-Sea, but a bit posher.
And central to the town's popularity as the place to be seen in Victorian times was the annual Henley Regatta. It got incredibly popular, and so many boats lined the river you could virtually walk from one side to the other. Local newspapers complained the Thames was being invaded by roughnecks and working-class savages. Today, it's still a major sporting and social event held in the first week of July.
They're setting up for the regatta now. It takes about 8 weeks to put in all the pontoons and grandstands and corporate hospitality tents. And the thing has become so popular that it can cost up to £2 grand for the full 5-day experience.
Central to the regatta is the head-to-head rowing races, and there's no team more successful than the Leander Rowing Club. Their clubhouse is right next to the bridge. Inside, you're left in no doubt you're in the home of greatness. They are Britain's most historic and most successful sports team, with 124 Olympic medals to prove it.
Come on, look at all these Leander Olympic gold medal winners. Redgrave, Pinsent, Cracknell. Here's one. WGRM lorry. It's Hugh's dad. Can't see mine anywhere.
So what's the key to producing champions? Hard work and dedication, obviously. But could it be the breakfasts? After all, it's 9 a.m, and this lot have already been out training on the river. Now they're on their second breakfast of the day.
Come on, look at this diet. First breakfast, cereal, banana, milk, juice, toast, spread, honey, then a litre of sports drink. Second breakfast, 3 slices of toast, 2 poached eggs, portion of mushrooms, 200 grams of baked beans, blah, blah, blah. Afternoon snack, blimey. Fish, meat, potatoes, blah, I can't get through it. 6,230 calories. God, that'll make you fart.
Well, when in Rome.
Why'd you only get that?
What?
Why'd you only get that?
Because that's my toast.
Oh, that would explain it. Do you want butter? What's the point in taking all this on board?
It's just the volume of training that we do.
Yeah.
So it's obviously an endurance sport, and you're burning such a large number of calories anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's more like it.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got another session in about an hour and a half. So I don't want to have. I wouldn't eat that necessarily because I'd probably see it again.
You do jobs outside of this training procedure?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So I nanny for a family.
Yeah.
And then I also coach as well, rowing coaching, and do a little bit of swimming teaching. So I essentially have 3 jobs alongside this as well.
I'm going out on a training session with Chief Coach Mark Banks.
Cheers, mate.
If anyone can give me an insight into what it's like to be part of a top team, he can.
The success what Steve Redgrave and Catherine Granger and all those other superstars where you see getting Olympic gold medals, they make it look easy, but it isn't.
He's been coaching for 30 consecutive years at Olympic and World Championship level.
As they're rowing, what are you looking at?
The blade is in the water for 3/4 of a second, and we're looking, A, that the blades are going in at the same time, that the legs are propelling the boat, the legs are pushing before we start using the upper body, and then, of course, we're looking to see that they've got a really good rhythm, which is sustainable. And it's really quite simple. It's doing the common uncommonly well.
As they skim across the river, it looks so easy, so elegant. The cocks keeping the boat as straight as an arrow. Having witnessed how it's done, it's now my time to shine as part of an elite team. And for once in my life, my size is a major asset.
Are you about ready for me now?
Yeah.
Cheers. Looking forward to it.
I've managed to blag my way into the boat as Cox.
Who's taller, you or me?
I think just about me, just.
No, anyway, whoever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the right size.
You're the right size for it, yeah, definitely.
Sam Royston, their usual Cox, gives me some tips on how to steer.
But this is the fin, this helps keep the boat straight.
Oh, that's not the rudder?
No, that's not the rudder. The rudder is just this little thing back here.
This tiny thing here?
This tiny little metal thing, yeah.
I'd always thought the rudder was the whole of the white thing.
No.
So you're controlling something that's about that big, and you're wiggling a little bit of string that's about that tiny.
It's about 30 foot long or something like that.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. Bring it on.
Up to heads, go! Okay, splits, go!
With a good briefing, I'm ready.
You have to take me seriously, you know. Pushing off. 3, 2, 1. Off we go.
I mean, how hard can it be to steer a 50,000-pound, very fragile carbon fibre boat?
And... what do I say? Rang off. Go! Brace pace.
Well, they say fake it till you make it.
And 3.
In my case, that's not very long.
When you get in that situation, just stop rowing.
I think I over-ruddered there.
OK, take 2.
Backstops. Going off. Rope.
Easy there, Sarony.
Easy.
Not that I'm making excuses, but under full power, it's incredibly difficult to keep it straight.
Oh, God, I'm going in the side again. One thing I hadn't realised is the rudder doesn't give you the effect that you think it's going to give you straight away. It's a few beats, and so you try and compensate even more. And then when it does kick in, you find yourself way over that side.
OK.
Go.
One final go. Yep, I think I've got it.
OK, that's good.
And then, just for the briefest of moments, I get a taste of what it's like to fly across the water.
Yes, like that. Well done.
In a race, these guys would be covering at least a mile. I only managed to keep it straight for about 200 yards. Well, they say it's not winning that counts, it's taking part. All good there, then.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, that heavy breakfast didn't do me any favours.
From Henley, I set off along a very boaty bit of the river, heading for the next village at Hurley.
Hiya! Hi! Everybody waves at each other. It's a communal place, isn't it? It's somewhere where we can share our traditions and our history, even our etiquette.
Hurley is the home of the oldest family of boat builders in Britain. who specialise in making these handcrafted wooden boats. Richard Freebody and his three sisters have history on the Thames that goes back to the 13th century.
Richard, never mind that this is going to become a boat. It's just such a gorgeous piece of carpentry.
Oh, thanks, Tony. Yeah, no, it's good fun.
It's a very elegant shape, isn't
it? Really is, yeah.
Like a racing car.
Very stylish, yeah.
It is quite exquisite. What's the wood?
So this is Canadian cedar, and this is mahogany. So quite a contrasting.
How long would this take you, just this one boat to make?
About 2 years, in all honesty, yeah.
Do you never make boats made out of fiberglass or plastic?
Never, ever, Tony. No, that's a terrible word to even mention around here, but...
And it's family business, right?
Yeah, very much so. So over 300 years. So
300 years?
Yeah, that we can actually trace ourselves as fishermen and ferrymen from 1257.
Oh, you're kidding.
Undoubtedly built our own boats to you know, carry out the work.
But where are the documents from that allowed you to go that far back?
Literally, old documentation relating to the Thames. So we are officially the earliest family boat builders in England, which is a lovely accolade to have.
Richard and his sisters are the 11th generation of boat builders. Soon, there may even be a 12th.
Can we have a look at who's here? Hiya, Kirsty.
Hello.
So these are your son and your daughters?
Yeah, this is George, Jessica and Daisy.
Hands up, any of you who might like to build boats when they're a bit...
Ah! Well, that's good.
Would you like to build a boat when you're a big boy?
What do you think, George?
Yeah, 3 hands up. 3 hands, fantastic. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Another generation of boat builders here. Yeah.
It's lovely. It's a way of life, really, rather than a business.
Today, 9 skilled craftsmen work alongside Richard, building and restoring traditional boats.
So, Tony, I don't know whether you could give me a hand, could you?
Give me a hand. Is television speak for muck things up?
Well, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. We're going to just try and replicate this bead here on the bottom edge.
And all that is done by hand?
Everything done by hand,
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very primitive. This is a screw that's been cut off and sharpened up.
Oh, you're joking. Look at that. You said you were integrating technology into your boat building.
Only when necessary. And basically, it's a case of pushing this up to the edge and just working the scratch along and gradually pushing slightly harder and harder and getting it deeper and deeper. So why don't you give that a go?
Okay. I'm so nervous about messing it up. Oh, I can do it
That's
a bit.
it.
Yeah.
Just gradually, just inch it forward. I think we'll make a boat builder out of you yet.
Yeah, sure. How long do you reckon it would take you to get this to that state?
It would take me probably about an hour to get that to that stage there. Yeah.
It looks like a huge amount of work.
Each boat receives at least 20 coats of a special varnish, the details of which remain a closely guarded family secret. Of course, you never know when a potential buyer may drop in looking for something rather special for the weekend.
So, Tony, come and have a look at the showroom.
Oh, look at this. That is so gorgeous.
So this is basically the finished version of what you've been helping to build.
This 30-foot free-body slipper launch is the top of the range.
It's so quiet.
Yeah, they're lovely.
With an almost silent electric engine.
Would you like to have a go?
Oh, mate, I would just
Come on,
so
let's
like
do it.
Oh, this is beautiful.
This isn't a sales pitch, Tony, but that suits you.
Thank you.
Well, that's a well-rehearsed line. But at £180,000 for a basic model, I'd best enjoy this while I can.
That's lovely, isn't it? It's so luxurious. Come already got things. the elbow out the window, one-handed driving. Only been driving it for 30 seconds.
Do you know, I think Richard might be right.
Gosh, he turns easily. Oh, my little darling, yeah.
It does suit me.
This is the modern version of Edwardian life on the Thames. Gently cruising along, getting towards the end of the day. Lovely warm temperature. I could get used to this.
Coming up, I travel back in time at Hampton Court.
Henry installed this clock, which not only told you the time, it also gave you the time of the tides, a sort of Tudor supercomputer.
And catch a lift on the Queen's Royal Barge.
The shiny stuff all over it can't really be gold.
It is. It's 22 carat gold leaf, all hand applied.
I'm walking the Thames from source to sea, and for the last 70 miles have been following the Middle Thames, the bit of the river that's gentle and best known for boating and leisure. Soon, as I approach London, the river will become tidal and much more industrial. But before then, there's one last stop I want to make.
Over there you can just see the chimney pots of Hampton Court Palace, where Henry VIII lived with his 6 wives and surrounded himself with lavish art and threw lavish dinner parties for ambassadors and bishops and various cronies.
Hampton Court was one of Henry's favourite palaces. It was opulent, impressive, and suited his character. He was loud, brash, and charismatic. And being on the river, Hampton Court gave him easy access to London.
Because the river becomes tidal just downstream from here, in the year 1540, Henry installed this clock, which not only told you the time, it also gave you the time of the tides, a sort of Tudor supercomputer.
Having a clock that told the tides was essential to Henry, because before there were locks on the Thames, riding high water was the only way to make the trip to and from London. Today there's an annual pageant going on at Hampton Court, a similar spectacle to the ones Henry liked to create when he travelled on the river.
I've been invited to join them on this gilded barge, which is known as the Gloriana, and is a very important boat.
The Gloriana is our present Queen's royal barge, and I've managed to blag a lift on it. It was built for the Diamond Jubilee celebrations and led a flotilla of 1,000 boats down the Thames.
This boat was launched in 2012, but it's a replica of the kind of barge that was working the Thames.
From the 16th century, the river became a place for royal pomp. Gilded barges were draped with banners, boats carried musicians. This was the river of theatre. The current keeper of the Queen's barge is Malcolm Knight.
This event has got a veneer of the ancient, but it's actually quite modern, isn't it?
It is, totally modern, but obviously, yeah, we've made it to look like a traditional Tudor event, but it's what the Royal Watermen used to do in Henry VIII's time. They used to row their king, so we're now going to row to the Tower to celebrate the importance of Her Majesty's Royal Highway, the River Thames.
Back in Tudor times, would all of the royals have had their own barge?
Yes, they did. That's how they got around, because the roads in London were thick mud and everything else.
In those days, the boat was the car of London.
That's right. It was the way to get around.
The shiny stuff all over it can't really be gold.
It is. It's 22 carat gold leaf, all hand applied by a team from Hare and Humphreys. It's a special formulation that they've put together over the years, which weathers very well. So fortunately, we don't have to polish the gold, just have to polish the brass.
Just like in the old-fashioned high-status barges, the insides are much more muted compared with all the gold on the outside. This is where the Queen sat when she was taking her tea here. And up here, all of these paintings on the roof are hand-painted, and they're birds going from the estuary right up to the start of the river. Swan, plover. Lovely, aren't they?
After an hour, we reached Teddington Lock, the official end of the non-tidal river.
You're going ashore?
I am indeed, yes.
Welcome to terra firma.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your time on the river.
See you. Well, that's the end of my jaunt on the Gloriana, and indeed it's the end of my walk along the Middle Thames. This is the final lock, Teddington, and after that, London. But that's for next time.
Next time, I follow the Thames through the heart of London.
I have actually found something. Hey up!
Discovering how the river made the city...
This is what we call liquid history.
...into a trading powerhouse and an icon to the world.
The bridge is coming down!